Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wisdom of Essential Oils. It's lovely to have you on here. I'm Leonie Featherstone, and my business is called Sense of Empowerment. It's SCENTS of Empowerment. You can find me on Facebook. I have a website, senseofempowerment.com.au. And my passion is people. I love to share the wisdoms I've gained in my lifetime from my wonderful mentors, and I tie them into these beautiful doTERRA essential oils and share ways that you can use them in your life to empower you in all areas of your life. I have a very holistic approach to wellness. And I love the fact that when we are wanting to step into being the best version of ourselves, so often we have to kind of fix the physical body first and support it. And then we can go on to working with our heart space and healing that, and then opening up to everything else that's available to us. And I love that essential oils can support us on each level of that journey. Hello, Kerry. How are you? Lovely to have you back. What I'd love you to do as you pop on, please get involved in the chat. It really makes my life so much easier. I can talk to myself any old time, but hey, today I'd love to talk to you and interact with you. So what are we going to be talking about today? Yes, the wisdom of essential oils, but I love to have a topic. And my topic is sense of beauty. Hello, Valeska. Lovely to have you on. Long time no see. So drop me a note, say hello, tell me where you're from, and then my question for you, and if I'm really clever here, I'm going to pop this up here on the screen because I am increasing my my technical skills. Look at that. That's the question for you. Where do you see beauty? Where does beauty show up in your life? I'd love to know what you think. Pop it in the chat. Now, the other thing for anyone who hasn't been on here before, in amongst sharing the wisdom of essential oils and how you can use them in all ways in your life, I love to also show you how to get them, and that's in a private chat because I love everyone to have essential oils at my price, which is wholesale. But I also love to draw the essential oil cards and then share that interpretation with you. So if you'd like me to draw an essential oil card for you, pop that in the chat as well. And in throughout this chat today, I'll draw those cards out and share the meaning and what that could mean for you, where you are right now in your life. And I'll throw in some extra information as well. So, yes, I miss them too, Valeska. So, Michelle, hello from Central Coast. Lovely to have you on too. Yes, definitely, I can do a card. You know, what I do is I actually just write your names down as you ask because I can get caught up in the talking and the chatting and not remember. Hello, Diane. How are you? From Tasmania. Okay, we'll come back to that. Now, one of the things I want to say with regard to anything too personal, I like to take that offline. So you feel free to PM me on Sense of Empowerment on Facebook, or you can just message here and say, hey, can we have a private chat? And also with regard, we must be mindful of speaking compliantly with regard to exactly what the oils can do. So oils are amazing at supporting us, but sometimes it's better to take those chats offline as well. So yes, Michelle, Kerry, and I've got to go back to Kerry. Beauty is an inside job. Oh, Kerry, that is just such a great saying. I couldn't agree with you more. And hello, Nikki. Yes, definitely can have a card for you too. And I find, Michelle, yes, you and I have a lot in common. I am a great seeker of beauty in nature. So let me just write that down. I've got to go back to the chat every now and again to see where we're at. So one of the things that to me, beauty is all around, but it depends on our version of beauty. Like, what is beauty? So maybe pop that in the chat. You know, what exactly is beauty? Because everyone will have a different version. But one of the things that, you know, if you can keep popping up, where do you see beauty? Give me some more examples. I think sometimes we don't see beauty because maybe some stuff that's going on inside of us. And I like to think about, we've got this beautiful little fish pond here. And every now and again, Farmer Green has to get in there and pull out the weeds because, you know, they need weeds for the fish to, you know, whatever they do. But sometimes the weeds can take over. And so he needs to get in there and clean some of them out. And then my little mission is usually to relocate the snails that are in there, because the snails eat the beautiful water lilies. And so I sometimes think about, if we are a fish pond, have we cleaned out our own fish pond? Because when you clean out the fish pond, the water becomes clearer, the fish become healthier, the flowers become brighter, and it's more beautiful than ever. And I think sometimes, as I think Kerry, beauty is an inside job, so we need to start on the inside first. So let me see, Kerry, a person may not be beautiful, but they have a heart of gold. Absolutely. So it's not always in the physical. So going along with my, cleaning out the fish pond analogy, I think sometimes, if we can go to our oils to help, clear away the fog on our own lens, which is our eyes and our heart. And an oil that I wanted to share with you today was Clarify. That's a doTERRA essential oil blend, and it's wonderful on a physical level for sort of helping us, open up our airways and, get some beautiful fresh air in. But when we look at the individual components in Clarify, we've got Litsi. Litsi we like to think of as the oil of manifestation, and it's really pungent and stimulating, and it's an oil that can kind of create that spark to sort of follow through on promptings and maybe stop that stalling effect, procrastination. And I think it also gives us a little bit of confidence to believe that little voice of wisdom that comes from inside. Because guys, if there's one thing I could say to you, is trust your inner voice. Your inner voice's volume, however, can often be determined by, your own sense of beauty. So Valeska, beauty is something that brings you joy. My daughters are beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. My topic last week was what brings you joy, and a number of grandmothers said my granddaughter or my grandson, and it's really lovely. Valeska, beauty is something that brings you joy, person, place, or animal. Exactly. So it's up to each individual. But what stops us seeing beauty? And it's quite interesting because none of you so far have said you are beautiful. So if you are not on your beauty list, I want to know why not. And so that's sort of the point that I want to get to today, is that we need to be able to see the beauty in ourselves, because beauty is an inside job. And if we're not seeing the beauty here, that fogs up the lenses, that clogs up the fish pond. And so what can we do to cleanse and to, really help ourselves? So Clarify, as I said, is a good one. There's also tangerine in there, which is a beautiful citrus, and it's sparks a bit of creativity and just sort of puts a bit of cheer in your heart. And we can all do with a bit more cheer in our heart. So, sometimes we're overburdened, there's a lot going on, and that can help. It's also got grapefruit. Now, grapefruit is fantastic. So I love having grapefruit in my water to help a flavour and help give me a sort of a gentle detoxification on the inside. But it's also the oil of honouring the body. And so, just respecting what we see, So we are so often our harshest critic. And then we've got frankincense in here as well. And frankincense I like to think of as the oil of truth, helping us to see the divine within and connecting us to the divine without. And cardamom. Cardamom is a very warming oil, great for the digestion, but it's also comforting. And so you can kind of see how combining those together, it can be a great blend to just, help us reassess, look at ourselves and our situation with a little bit more objectivity, and then, feel I've got all that out, we've released, because I've opened up, I've released, and now I can take in and really see the beauty that is around me. You love grapefruit, Diane. Yes, it's wonderful. Sandy, I'll come back to that for sure. Okay. Now, if you see some people pop up on there with messages that are strange, please know we have spammers, and we try and not have them, but you'll probably see people offering you to do all sorts of things, like I've just deleted one there. So if you see anything weird and wonderful, I don't ever ask for money or, anything like that on there, but apparently this is common on Facebook. That's the first time I've encountered it. So yay, I dealt with it. Okay, so let's come back to, before I do some cards for you, I want to look at why we aren't seeing beauty in ourselves. So I want to give you a couple of strategies, because I also always like to put some practical strategies in here as well. So if you aren't seeing that true beauty in yourself, maybe just either try and, trawl through your computer memory and find a time when you did see yourself as beautiful. And think about what was going on in your life then. The other thing because then you can create an anchor. But the other thing, think about when you were born. All babies are beautiful. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're red and scrunchy and screaming, they're beautiful. And I defy anyone to sort of not be able to see the beauty and perfection in a baby. Well, my friends, that baby is still within each and every one of us. And it's up to us to be kind and nurture that baby. But how often, imagine that baby now is like 3 years old. How often are we screeching at that baby and telling them they're no good and they're fat and they're this and they're that? We're yelling at our inner child. That's not nice. We have to be kind to our inner child. And so, this is why sometimes we start to sort of shut down, because we're not even aware that we're speaking in this manner to ourselves. So just remember, think of yourself as that beautiful, beautiful baby, that gorgeous little toddler, and monitor yourself, talk to yourself. So, okay, let's start. Oh, first up, I always like to do some cards for us, the collective. And I do have an oil card, but I'm kind of, I don't know about you guys, I love cards. And I'm really loving Brendan Burchard, the Motivation Manifesto. And his card for us today is: our greatest personal power is the ability to take over our impulses and direct our mind to choices and commitments that will serve us. And I thought, how perfect. Brenda's encouraging us to take responsibility for the thoughts and the words that we speak, not just to others, but to ourselves, and to make sure that they're words and actions and thoughts that will serve us. So then I'm kind of in love with Gabby Bernstein, The Universe Has Your Back. And she's giving us a great message today, which is: I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. Now, my friends, speaking harshly to ourselves is not loving. So think about that. We just want to get closer to love. What can we do to be more loving to ourselves so that we can see the beauty within? Because guess what? When we see the beauty within, we automatically see more beauty without. And then the oil card for us, I pulled Wild Orange, just one of my all-time favorites. Wild Orange, citrus, joy, abundance. It's just a vibrant oil. And what we're doing is we're looking to let go of any scarcity mentality, any judgments. Think about the wild orange tree. Some of you will have heard me say this so often. I've got one outside my bathroom window, and I love to look at it as I shower and just take the lesson. Nature's all around us. I think it's our advisory board. Listen up, people. It has messages for us. And so, a lot of the fruit falls on that side of the paddock, and a lot of the fruit falls inside the house yard. And so it doesn't care. It just fruits. Its job is to just give without worrying about whether the birds get it, whether the possums get it, or whether we get it. And so it's a great lesson for us today. So we want to, through using wild orange in an emotional sense, we want to create a hope for the future, a sense of joy and abundance in our life. And that means abundance of beauty, abundance of seeing that abundance of beauty within ourselves. The centering thought, and on these cards you'll always get a centering thought: I create abundance in all aspects of my life. I live my life with ease and grace. Life does not have to be a struggle. Life does not. Yes, we'll have challenges, but generally it's how we view those challenges. And not for 1 minute am I diminishing anything that you are going through right now, because I know some of you are going through huge challenges, and you will prevail. You will prevail. So the question we need to ask ourselves, because here's the thing, guys, are we setting great expectations for ourselves? Are we expecting to see beauty? Are we expecting to see the beauty within ourselves? Are we beauty-seeking missiles going through life? Or are we just accepting what's delivered up for us? We need to set those expectations high. and know that we deserve to receive them. And so the question we ask for ourselves is, why am I so rich? Why is my life so full of abundance? And please note that we're not just talking about money here. We're talking about everything else that is abundant in our life: joy, happiness, friendships, family, all of those sorts of things. So they're the cards that we're going to start off on the day. So, okay, hello Fiona, lovely to have you on too. All right, so my first person, and please, if I haven't, so far I've got Michelle, Kerry, Nikki, and Sandy. If you, and I may have missed someone else, but if I have, just pop your name down there again so that I can come back to you. But Michelle, let me draw a card for you. Now, if you're not using doTERRA essential oils at the moment and you would like to know more, and you would love to learn how to use them, because I see myself as your guide. I'm here to empower you, and I'm your guide. So just send me a message and I'll have a chat with you, because there's some great bonus offers this month. Okay, so Michelle, you have the beautiful oil of spearmint. Spearmint's kind of like a mild cousin to peppermint. You know, peppermint really like pow. Spearmints are kind of a gentle pow. Bear with my weird analogies. So with spearmint, what this is encouraging you to do, Michelle, is to just let go of anything that you're maybe a bit nervous about at the moment. Maybe you're a bit unsure. Maybe you have to be in a position where you have to present or speak up, say some things, and you're lacking a little bit in confidence. So this is spearmint sort of encouraging you to take heart, know that the courage lies within. You can tap into that at any time, and that will really give you a voice, give you confidence to voice whatever it is you want to say right now to whoever you want to say right now. And spearmint will create a capacity to articulate a message or speak publicly in front of others and gain confidence in doing so. Sometimes I just go off my knowledge of oils and then I'm reading what's on the card. And your centering thought, Michelle, is, I am courageous, I have a message, I am fearless, and I am articulate. So you can do this. You've got this, Michelle. And your question to ask yourself is, why am I such a confident speaker? For those of you who want to know what the cards are, they're from Aroma Heal. So Michelle, I hope that resonated with you. And let's do one for Kerry and Valeska. Yes. As I said, if I've forgotten, you just pop it in the chat again, because I get carried away. So keep thinking about where you see beauty and maybe why you aren't on the list. And if you've got any questions or thoughts, pop them in the chat. So my next card is for Kerry. Kerry, you have helichrysum. Oh, what a powerful oil. Okay, so helichrysum is these little tiny flowers, but man, they're so delicate looking, but it really packs a punch. So helichrysum is very powerful in a physical sense. We often find it in products, like we have a great, like a sports rub, a blend that's great for if you've been exercising and maybe feeling a bit sore. It's quite regenerative. But what we're doing here on an emotional level, it's just helping you to heal, basically. So maybe, Kerry, you've had something go on and there's been some pain, and this is just going to help you work through that and understand that quite often with pain there is some lesson to learn, but you will come out the other side. You will overcome it. And so this is the ability to overcome heartache with an appreciation for the lessons learned and strength to release the anguish they caused. So it's very much about transformation. So if you think about my physical sense of something's happened and then we're going to use this to regenerate, it's the same with you. The emotional pain issue, and then there's that ability to regenerate and transform back into a whole self. Your centering thought is, I am strong and courageous, and I have the ability to overcome all that life throws at me. I believe in the power to heal. I am a powerful creator. And your question, Kerry, is why am I so courageous? And this is the thing, guys, having that self-belief that, we are the master of our destiny. We are in charge of this ship. We're steering the boat. So take that on and then use your oils to support you and to give you strength. And I'd love to suggest that you combine this with an affirmation. So whatever's going on in your life, and you can create the words to take you from where you are through to the positive outcome, because that aromatic anchoring is really powerful. If you want to get an idea of some blends and some aromatic anchoring, on my page on Sense of Empowerment, I've actually put up some blends, and then they're just my words, but you're welcome to use them, or you can adapt them to suit yourself. I have itchy nose today. I wonder what that's telling me. Thank you. You resonated, Kerry. Fantastic. Oh, I'm so sorry you had sadness. But you know what? One of the things when we have any emotion, we need to allow it to release, because otherwise it stagnates and we build up toxicity. And so I really suggest, I mentioned clarify, and I want to maybe just move to my blend right now, because this might sort of set up some of the conversation as well. Because with regard to why we're not seeing beauty in our lives and why that's not showing up around us, maybe we are holding on to some toxic thoughts. Maybe we are holding on to some toxic emotions. And hey, I'll put my hand up. I know I do. And I'm on a constant path of release and working through that and being a better person than I am. I'm constantly striving for that. And I set expectations for myself, and I look at where I'm at and okay, now I need to do some more work, and I accept that, and I'm in a good place about that. And I think with whatever we're going through, it's understanding that it's not necessarily, yep, I snorted an oil and now I'm good, or yep, I did that practice and now I'm good. It can be an ongoing practice, and that fortifies us and strengthens us, and we actually become better and better. And so the blend I put together today actually has a blend in it, but my blend for Sense of Beauty is lemon myrtle. And I've actually got it diffusing in here at the moment, this blend. It's lemon myrtle, zendocrine, and eucalyptus. Okay, so why did I choose those? Well, lemon myrtle is a beautiful oil. It's quite pungent, and it's clearing, it's clarifying. And so for me, it's like cleaning up the pond, or, cleaning those lenses that are distorting the beauty. It's clarifying. It's clearing away the mental fog that's not allowing me to see my beauty or the beauty around me. It's kind of like giving me a gentle kick up the bum and saying, turn off autopilot. You've got a life to live, girl. Get on with it and open up and get rid of that toxicity that's holding you back. And then zendocrine is actually a blend that has been put together for that very purpose, as the name suggests. It's to support our endocrine system and to help to cleanse and let toxic gunk flow. So on an emotional level, we're doing that as well. So we want to not only help to clean out the organs in our systems, we want to just, assist with that, clearing out those toxic thoughts, emotions, and transition into a healthier emotional state. And part of that is letting go of those toxic limiting beliefs and any thoughts or patterns that we have adapted. And what's the other one? Eucalyptus. So eucalyptus, I love eucalyptus. It's so pungent. We think of it as cleaning, and it's also for opening up our airways. And so think about it, opening up, allowing to let go. And it's also helping us to let go of any thinking that might be holding us in an unwell pattern. And it's quite interesting, because I love it when I start thinking about what I can share with you, and it helps me to look at my own thought patterns. And I'm often known to promote our beautiful ice blue blend, because I talk about how it helps me because I have structural issues. And I thought, I'm locked into I have structural issues. And I thought, no, I'm going to change my wording and say I'm working towards my structure being pain-free. So it's just a slight subtle change. But rather than being locked into this is how I am and this is how I always will be. And so eucalyptus can be very good for that. And so those three together are my blend for Sense of Beauty, because, as I think it was Kerry said, beauty starts from the inside. It's an inside job, physically as well. If we don't clean up our gut and our elimination system is clogged up, we are full of toxins. Do not expect to have a clear brain. Do not expect your hormones to be balanced. Do not expect much help at all. And so it is definitely an inside job. And if anyone wants to explore the gut health aspect, private message me and we'll have a chat about that later. But, when we talk about gut health, often we think of diet. I'd like to suggest that we all go on a diet free from negative thinking. And if we could be our little thought police, because it all starts with thoughts. So how often do you think about what you think about? And whenever I say that, I have to say it again, because how often do you think about what you think about? I don't think we do that very enough. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. So I love to have the blend, and then I like to have an affirmation. Now, again, this is what I like to use. So this morning I've had that diffused, and I also put it in the palms of my hands, which are my personal diffusers, and I inhaled deeply and I said, I am perfectly imperfect. I see and love the magnificence that is me. So that's my affirmation to go with that. So that's just a little bit to share with you on that. I'll do another card. Then I want to talk about some things we can do for ourselves to share a bit of self-love on ourselves, so we are acknowledging the beauty that we have. Okay, Nikki, you're up. And Nikki, you have coriander. So coriander is... Yeah, Nikki, maybe you are doubting yourself right now. Again, coriander's about, just encouraging you, Nikki, be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Listen to that inner voice. Trust it. You're on a journey, and that little inner voice is going to be your best companion on this journey. So we're creating a confidence, excuse me, confidence and ability to honor who you are, Nikki, and live a life of integrity. Create loyalty to yourself. And your centering thought, Nikki, is I live a life of integrity. I honor who I am in all aspects of my life. I stand for truth. I find purpose in my life and my own capabilities. And your question, Nikki, is why is it so easy for me to honor and believe in myself? So this is sometimes part of the journey, Nikki, where you can go along and maybe have doubts, and then yes, I'm right. And then sometimes that little voice that's so used to things being not right, it's kind of like I joke about, the good angel and the bad angel. This voice is saying, no, it's going to go bad again. And this one goes, no, you're on a path. Believe in yourself. You can do this. And so it's quite normal that you have that kind of up and down, but just trust the good voice. You'll know which one it is, Nikki. You will know. So that's your card. So one of the things when we aren't seeing beauty, I love if you might want to think about the physical issues are quite often like a mirror image for what's going on emotionally. So let's say you're having some eye issues. Maybe if you're not seeing beauty in yourself, sometimes you can have eye issues, and or maybe you just get a bit of an eye issue, and then you can ask yourself, well, what does that mean? What's going on inside of me? I have people who have hearing issues, and I often say to them, is there something that you're not wanting to hear or that you're not hearing? Maybe that's a question to ask. And this is just my way of looking at things, but quite often they're just tools to help us go deeper and maybe, have a little bit of a think about what's going on. So if we come back to the eyes, lemongrass and tea tree and lavender were the three that I thought of that are great for supporting, various eye health issues. And then on an emotional level, they're all great as well, because what they're doing is they're actually, like tea tree is great for cleaning, so cleansing our view, cleansing our emotional view. Lavender is really good for, physically soothing, but it's also helping us to give value to our voice. We often think of lavender as being that the oil of communication, of helping us to have the courage and see the worth in our voice. And what was the other one I said? Lemongrass. Yeah, lemongrass, cutting away those negative energies, negative thoughts, so that you can see clearly and see that beauty. So they were just a couple for you. Now, I think I've missed a couple more people. I'm going to write them down quickly. Sandy Valeska, Maria, and hi, Rosa. Absolutely. And Sandy, I am just going to do yours now, Sandy, so you're back on in time. And then Laura Lee. All right. So we are up to Sandy. Okay, let's get a card for Sandy. Okay, Sandy, your oil is one of our beautiful blends from the emotional aromatherapy, and that's called Console. Now, you did mention you have some anxiety going on at the moment, Sandy, and I'm not sure what has prompted that, but perhaps you've had some trauma, sadness, grief. But what I want you to know is Console is there to give you a big, warm, comforting hug, and to just help you to know that, this too shall pass, and that, it's time to start looking within to find comfort as well. And part of that finding comfort within is to release anything that is there, because often when we go through these sorts of things, and I don't know, this is what's happening with you right now, Sandy, is that and it could be why I'm clamping up, that you're not able to allow yourself to speak about it, or you're closing down, maybe you're suffocated with some of these emotions right now. And so Console will help you to actually release that. So we want to create a place where you can heal from transitions that have come with grief and loss. It comforts the heart, Sandy. It will help your heart to accept and move forward with healing, and to release that heaviness that I'm really feeling you have right now. And your centering thought is, I accept the painful transitions in life as moments to reflect and learn that pain can be a great teacher. And your question, Sandy, to ask yourself is, why do I feel such peace and comfort? I hope that brings you some comfort. And again, guys, as I draw these oils, if you're not, you don't have these beautiful hands in your oils, and you're not currently being looked after by a beautiful doTERRA person, please reach out to me. This is my passion, to connect people with themselves and to use the oils as tools. They are magnificent tools. Remember to tap into the other tools that are available. Surround yourself with people who can serve and support you. We have some wonderful healers on the Spiritual Events Directory page. I have some wonderful friends who practice all sorts of holistic modalities. And if anyone needs to reach out to anyone, just let me know, and I may be able to recommend one for you. So that was Console. Now, Valeska, my friend who I haven't seen for so long, let's do a card for you. Hello, Kat. How are you? Have you all started to think about why you maybe aren't seeing beauty in yourselves? Because I want you by the end of today to be really thinking about that, so that you can see that true beauty. Valeska, you have the gorgeous Elevation blend. And I shared this last week, that sometimes when you come across an oil, it is not your friend to begin with. And this was one of them for me. It really set me off. I don't know why, but you know what? Sometimes the oils just aren't meant for us in that moment. And then later they appeal to us and they are right for us, and it's okay. So never discount an oil first up. So with Elevation, this is such a joyful blend, and it's really, filled with citruses that are going to just, lift you out of any lower vibrations. So, Valeska, if there's anything like that going on around you at the moment that maybe is taking you out of that beautiful, beautiful space you're normally in, just start diffusing some Elevation, and just know that this will help you rise above it. This oil is wonderful for instilling, feelings of hope and positivity. And what we're looking to do here for you, Valeska, is create a place to elevate life to a whole new level, and experience a sense of transformation. This will create a state of abundance and joy. And your centering thought is, I live a life of abundance. My heart is inspiring, and I open my heart to experience joy. And your question to ask yourself, why is it so easy for me to experience joy? So I hope that it's not your favorite either. Okay, so here's the thing. Sometimes you need to blend oils with other oils to make them more acceptable. The oil that just jumped into my head to put with that, I have no idea why, Valeska, it may have meaning to you, is ginger. And ginger is the oil of empowerment. It's very pungent. It's spicy. It is fantastic in your cookies. And I love to put it in my raw chocolate as well. But, it's warming. It's wonderful in massages. If you have any, sort of muscle aches and pains, wonderful to support that. So maybe just throw some ginger in it and let me know how you go, Valeska. Be interested to know. I think I've got Maria down next. Do you know when we're talking, just what prompted me with something from Valeska's card is, when we are surrounded maybe by some lower vibrations or whatever, is to create our own sanctuary. It's so important. Sometimes it may not be able to even be a physical sanctuary. It may be a sanctuary in our mind, but it's really important that we can do that. I think rituals play a great part in creating that sanctuary. So, Maria, you have fennel. Fennel, with most of our oils, emotional, we might say it's the oil of, and the oil of perhaps personal responsibility. And so, with fennel on a physical level is one that supports digestion, and so in many respects this could relate to what we were talking about body image, about seeing the beauty in us and not being overly critical and judgmental on ourselves. So, but also taking that responsibility that we have the power to create the changes that we want to see in life, and it's also about how I talked about having that 3-year-old child inside us, Maria. We need to take responsibility for how we speak to that child, and so maybe nurturing and letting go of any of the negative ways we speak to ourselves. So maybe that might relate to you. I'm not sure, but just having that tuning into yourself, Maria, I think is really important right now. And this is going to create an ability to meet your body's needs, Maria, and allow you to have a much healthier and stronger connection to it. And your centering thought is, I tune into my body, I connect with my body, I listen to it, and I honor it. And your question is, why is it so easy for me to love and care for my body? So I hope that that helps you. As I said, fennel is wonderful in cooking, often used in savoury dishes, but I've seen people pop it into chocolate as well. So that's a whole new world. If any of you want to know about using cacao, my good friend John has a book. Let me just find it for you. The Cacao Addict. And he incorporates all our beautiful essential oils into it as well. Okay. Hello, Cerise. You're new. Wonderful. Yes, I would love to do a card for you. I'll write you on the list. So we talked about rituals and beauty. Before I do some more cards, I want to talk about some of the things that I've seen in my life of mentoring people that stops people from seeing their own true beauty, and that is that awful habit of comparison. There is a saying that comparison is the thief of joy. And so an oil I'd love to invite you to try is pink pepper. Now, again, pink pepper, fantastic in cooking. I love to add it into hummus with lemon and really give my hummus dip a real spark. But pink pepper encourages us to let go of comparison. And as I mentioned before, so often we're our own harshest critic. And so we actually have this distorted view of who we are and how we look and all those sorts of things. And if we have a distorted view of how we look, quite often that affects us physically. So we try and hide, we love. So let's get involved with pink pepper. I want to tell you a little story about pink pepper, if I may. One of the reasons I love working with doTERRA is the heart behind the company. And our oils come from, many countries, 40 plus, and many of those are developing countries. And our pink pepper, excuse me, this is quite a meaningful story to me. Pink pepper, some of it comes from Kenya. And there's a beautiful story about a lady in Kenya who her husband was working for a company, and they were one of the lucky ones. They had a house they had water, and the children, they had money, they could send them to a school. And then sadly, and they had 4 children, I think it was, and sadly he was killed in a car accident. Well, of course, she was removed from the house, had no income and nothing, and the children couldn't go to school. And so she started making rope from grass, and she would sell it at the local store. And then they had enough, so she took it to the truck stop, and thinking the truckies would buy it. Well, they didn't want to buy her rope, but they would buy her. And sadly, she had to, lower her dignity to be able to afford to feed her children. And this beautiful man, Mr. Kigo, who works at the pink pepper farm where we access our beautiful pink pepper, he saw her one day and he said to her, I think you would be really good at picking pink pepper. And her name is Veronica. And so Veronica went out and, one day she picked all of this pepper and she made more money, enough that she could then send her children to school and feed her children in a way that didn't lessen her dignity. And I love that in some of these countries, we're allowing people to change their lives in such a positive way, and that children can go to school, and that, people do have fresh water. And so I just want you to know that when you do use our beautiful doTERRA essential oils, it's not just you that's benefiting, it's people on the other side of the bottle that are having amazing experiences. Some things that we take for school, I've been over there and it's been a heartwarming experience and very humbling, and a lesson for myself to be grateful for absolutely everything that I have, because these people that have so little are so joyous and so happy. So I just wanted to share that with you because of pink pepper. So I will go to, is it Rose? Let me just check. Have I got Rosa. Rosa. Sorry, I scratched the name down. Rosa. Okay. Let's have a card for Rosa. Patchouli. Now, here's another classic one that I struggle with, but it's so good. It has so many great aspects. And so it's quite interesting. We're pulling up cards today that often are talking about the body image, because so often we judge ourselves on what can be seen here, when really we need to go within and see the beauty that is on the inside. So Rosa, again, I don't know you and I'd love to know you better, but this is about encouraging you to let go of any shame or any body image issues you have, any self-judgment. Are you judging yourself quite harshly at the moment? Maybe just give that a little bit of a massage and, give yourself a little kiss on the cheek, and just help yourself to see the beauty within you and to accept yourself. So we're going to create here a stronger connection to your body and a sense of awareness and presence. And it's also about connecting your body and your spirit. So your centering thought is, my body is a temple. I honor and respect it. It houses my spirit. I am aware of my body's needs. And your question, why do I love my body? So I hope that is meaningful for you. Patchouli is a really, really strong oil. If you are going to put patchouli on, make sure you really love it, because it will last and last. So small amounts of patchouli, and you may want to, add another oil. I do know someone else who puts ginger with patchouli to kind of, just calm it down a little. So, all right. What else do I want to talk about? Okay, so are you doing things for yourself that, would make your inner child feel loved? So we talked about the sanctuary, we talked about rituals. Are you spending time on your body? Are you looking after your skin? Because all of these little things that we do for ourselves are sending subtle messages that I matter, and that we are seeing the beauty inside that needs to be respected. And so one of the beautiful blends that we have is yarrow pom. Now, yarrow pom is a blend. It's got some beautiful oils in there: jojoba, avocado, sunflower. It's also got the pomegranate seed oil in there. And what it does on a physical aspect, it's like putting like a little shield over our skin, and it's also helping to reduce the aging effect. It's supporting, young, youthful looking skin. So that's kind of like the idea. It's regenerating and rejuvenating. But if we take that onto emotional level as well, it's kind of like an energy barrier. So you think about that fire, we're putting a nice film over our face. It's actually like giving us that little barrier, to outside influences, and we are setting our own space. We're gonna nurture ourselves within this space. It was pomegranate itself was seen as a sacred plant in days gone by, and so think about bringing pomegranate into your beauty ritual, but knowing that it's also going to support you on that emotional level. And I love to use pomegranate and blue tansy, which is another great oil for us guys. It's the oil of like inspiration. And so we're talking about releasing these stagnant thoughts, these toxic energies that are stopping us from seeing the beauty within. So blue tansy is a great one because it can help to transform us from that stagnant stinking thinking, and really start circulating more positive, proactive thoughts and resultant actions. And so the other thing with blue tansy, it's about living in alignment with our truest values. And if you haven't worked out what your values are, I'd say that would be the number one step to starting to build your sense of self-worth. I wanted to read you something on self-worth. If you'll bear with me, just a short passage from Desiree Mangan Dog, the I Am Worthy series, because I truly believe, as Kerry said, beauty is an inside job. It all starts from inside. I'm glad you love oils, Cerise. So often I see people chasing the fix out here. They're looking for the solution out here when really we need to go within. So can I just share with you one of the reasons why I believe we don't see the beauty within, and it's expressed so beautifully by Desiree. Self-worth is a deep understanding that I matter. You matter completely. You are important. Your thoughts, feelings, desires, vision, voice, and spirit matter. This sense is deeply rooted within our soul. Your worth is not dependent upon outside praise, others' opinions, achievements, accomplishments, circumstances, what you do or do not do, what you have or don't have. You already have everything you need inside of you. Self-worth is deeper than self-confidence. In essence, it is about knowing your divine nature and the beauty that exists in your soul. Without a strong sense of self-worth, doubts and fears may easily fill our spirit. Think about the stinking thinking, the toxic emotions, thoughts. This leads to a blockage in fulfilling the vision and mission that is our life's purpose. It is our growth, evolution, contribution, and emotional maturity that catapult healing. Self-worth is this underlying frequency that colors every aspect of our being. How we interact with others, the content of our conversations, access to our creativity, productivity and efficiency in our work, the ability to feel and receive love from the divine, how we parent our children, and most importantly, our internal peace. By increasing your self-worth, you are practicing unconditional love towards yourself, which then leads to an outpouring of unconditional love towards others. And guess what? What we give out comes back. I found that so powerful, and I hope you do too. So I want to go to a couple more cards. I'm aware that the time is ticking. I hope you're enjoying the chat today. I love having you on. It's always fun. Remember to private message me if you have anything too deep. Oregano. So I think it was Laura Lee. Just got to check. I like to call people by the right name. Laura Lou. Oregano. Oregano is so pungent. Have to be really careful when using it physically. It's great in your spag bowl. It's great in you. I like to mix hummus and green pesto in just a tiny, weeny half drop. And if you want a half drop, the easiest way is just to use a toothpick and stir it through. So oregano, I actually drew this card once and I got quite defensive. So I just want to say to you, Laura Lou, that sometimes, when we pull a card, just dwell on it. Sometimes we aren't aware of what's going on in our subconscious. So it's about, basically just letting go a bit of that strong will, that, having to have control, maybe very willful. So this is just encouraging you to be a little bit more flexible. Humility is a great tool to have in our tool bag. Letting go of control. I feel your pain. I struggle sometimes. I'm a bit of a control freak, but just let go of control. My son gave me some really profound advice. He said, Mum, letting go of control is actually being in control because we decide. So Laura Lou, you can do this. This is going to create the ability in you. It's going to support you to let go of that control and create humility, because that will then encourage growth, the growth and a healthier connection with yourself and the divine. Your centering thought, I release my need to control and to always be right. I see the value in others and their own individuality. I release the toxic relationships in my life. because sometimes it's those toxic relationships that we're kind of hanging on to that we feel like we need to control. So, Laura Lou, why is it so easy for me to be humble? That is your question. Why is it so easy for me to be humble? And as I said, I drew that card and I had to do some real deep introspection to really think about that and realized it actually wasn't slapping me around. It was actually nurturing me to stop perhaps getting in my own way of my own good. So I hope that resonates with you. And I have Cerise. Cerise, that is a beautiful name. Cerise, let's have a look at one for you. Oh, I just read Cerise ditched all my perfumes when I discovered essential oils. Absolutely. And there's a great book I just read, which I cannot remember its name, but I think it's The Case for Fragrance or The Fragrance Case. And it's all about, those nasty toxins that are in perfume. I actually, when I am around it, it actually catches in my throat and I almost choke. So some are worse than others. So just be mindful. I know you might love your perfumes, but all I'd say to you is just do some investigation. Cerise, you've chosen jasmine, which is why I smile, because jasmine is such a beautiful perfume to wear. It's very dusky and it's it's quite seductive. And I think it was it Cleopatra that anointed her sails with jasmine and neroli before she sailed up the Nile to seduce Mark Antony? I love that analogy. But jasmine can also be about releasing traumas, releasing any traumas, any addictions that maybe have been a part of your life. And what we want to do is create that intimacy and trust, the ability to let go of what has hindered you in the past in that regard, and then to bring in that sexual harmony and healing. And it's also about creating self-respect and healthy sexual boundaries for yourself. Centering thought, I have healthy sexual boundaries. I open my heart to trust. I deserve to heal. I create vulnerability and deep connection in my intimate relationships. And your affirmation, why do I feel so healed, alive, and sexy? So there you go. That's yours. Laura, Cerise. Who was I doing that one for? Cerise. I do beg your pardon. That was you, Cerise. Jasmine. Okay. Hello, Irene. Lovely to have you on. Hello, Regina. Now, I'm not sure if it's Regina or Regina, because I have two friends, and one is Regina and one is Regina. Lovely. So what is our time? Just a couple more things, and then I'm going to move on to Regina. Azra loves sandalwood. Yes, I do too. Sandalwood is a beautiful oil, and that's a great one to blend with, some of your dusky oils. Maybe the jasmine and sandalwood would be a beautiful combination. So think about ways you can. Hello, Leanne. Lovely to have you on. What about, what are you doing for yourself in the way of your rituals with your body beauty? So things like making up some coconut scrubs, and you could add in some, lime and ginger. Lime, the zest of life. Ginger's quite warming, so it's great on your skin. What about body brushing? Have you tried doing that? I do that every morning and before I hop in the shower. And so Regina likes both versions. Excellent. And so with body brushing, what you're doing, and I'd like to suggest you be mindful in everything that you do to your body. Body brushing is great because it's actually stimulating your lymphatics, so it's helping to drain away toxins, and you could be draining away any negative thoughts. It stimulates the skin. It takes away, it's like sloughing off any dead skin cells, so skin will look more vibrant. And, when you do your beautiful aromatic dressing afterwards, your skin, your pores are going to be open to accept all those beautiful nurturing oils you're going to be using. But one of the things I love about body brushing is when you get into the shower, you feel really stimulated. And so I add oils into my body brushing. I use our Aroma Touch blend, which has basil, it's beautiful, peppermint. They're really enlivening oils. And I also like to use our blend Balance, which is our grounding blend. So I don't use them together, but it depends. I just pick and choose. And so, this is what you can do too, depending on your mood. Add it into your beauty routines. What about massage? We do an Aroma Touch hand massage. You can do that for friends so that you're helping to nurture them and show them that they have value. But you can do it to yourself as well, or teach your family members. One of the things I think as parents or adults, we're all in a position of influence, and we can influence our young people to take care of themselves holistically, and with all of these simple routines. And one of the easiest ways to nurture yourself is diffuse oils, diffuse them around you, mix them up. Think about what mood do I want to be in today, or what mood am I in? How can I lift myself out of that? And if you've got any challenges with that, reach out to me and I will help you with that as well. Head massages, using our oils with that. Rosemary to help stimulate and support scalp health. Ear massages. I was with Leanne and Michelle yesterday and we were talking about ear massages. It's so beautiful. It's part of the body that's not often touched. So there's some little tips and hints that you could bring in on an actual practical level. What else did I want to tell you? Okay, I'm going to do this last card for Regina, and then I want to just finish off with a couple of closing thoughts. And if you've got any closing thoughts, please drop them in the chat to share, because you have infinite wisdom as well. So, Regina, you have our beautiful, another blend from our aromatherapy and emotional aromatherapy kit, and it's the Passion blend. And this is wonderful because it's not always about, passion in the bedroom. It's about, maybe you've just lost your passion for life. Maybe you just lost your va-va-voom. And this is just going to help you get in touch with your drive. It can be on both areas. It can be the bedroom passion as well as your passion for life. So, Regina, what this is going to help you with is increase your ability to find joy and passion again, revitalizing those emotional aspects of yourself with regard to intimacy. And intimacy can be intimacy with yourself, connecting with that inner self, and to heal through that process. And your centering thought is, I create deep connection and intimacy. I live a life of passion and purpose. And your question is, why is it so easy for me to feel passion? Okay. So, my friends, I'd love to suggest to you that you use your senses as guideposts to find beauty. Just maybe try and shut down everything except your sight and look for beauty. Where can I find the beauty around me? I'm blessed that I live in a rural setting and I sit out on my deck every morning and just ooh and ah at the gorgeous hills and the paddock and the cattle in the yards. It's just wonderful. Find it, look for it, see it. Let your ears pick up the beauty. Look apart. Sometimes we see people and we might not see beauty in them. Look for that beautiful inner child in them. Go into compassion and gratitude, two skills that I find help me see beauty in most people. Ask yourself, so the senses, what can I taste? What can I feel that's beautiful? And do that intentionally, and you will start to see beauty showing up in your life. Most importantly, my wish for you is that you see beauty within yourself, okay? And I want to share with you some wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, because I'm so loving following the lives of the Stoics and some of the ancient philosophers at the moment. He said, think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now, take what's left and live it properly. Life is for living. He also gave some other wisdom, which I've carried with me for a long time, and that is, stop acting as if you have 1,000 years to live. You were put on this earth to blossom and grow and share your amazing talents with others, and you have amazing talents. But you need to clear the lens, clean out the fish pond, and take a really good look. And yes, we all have bits that we can shine up, dust and polish, but you have beauty within. Recognize that, sit with it, honor it, respect it, and then that beauty will emanate forth and you will attract even more beauty, for which you can then be extremely grateful for. So thank you. Thank you for being with us. And I look forward to chatting with you again next week. Please send me a private message if you'd like to go further. I'd just love to oil up the world. So have a great week, my friends, and I will see you hopefully with me again next week. Bye-bye.